Venu Nair is joining us to talk more about the quarter gone by and also about what's the visibility of coming quarters. Venu, thank you very much for joining us. Yours is one of the most loved stock in the retail space, the way last couple of quarters have been a very sharp turnaround. What happened this quarter? Just about 5% YOY growth, flat profitability. Talk to us the ingredients of performance this quarter, and also as we sit here, how does the coming quarters look?
Thanks for having me on my show, and thanks for all the compliments. We had a good quarter, a decent quarter, I would say, overall. We delivered a growth of 4% on non-GAAP numbers, 1,241 crores in sales, with flat margins and EBITDA coming in at 58 crores on a non-GAAP basis. We saw the market was mixed. Beauty as a category did quite well. Some of the non-apparel categories, watches, travel, luggage, again, did very well. Apparel was moderated, and the market overall, from post-Diwali onwards, we've seen a bit of a slowdown. I think also what we should remember is the fact that this quarter we are comparing against the quarter one of the last financial year, which was the first quarter post-COVID. So obviously there was a surge in consumption, especially at apparel, with people returning back to work, and hence the surge that we had seen. So we do believe that in the medium term, the apparel story continues to be strong. It is the strong comparatives that's showing a slowdown for the quarter itself. But overall, a decent quarter, non-apparels, beauty leading the performance for us, with apparel coming a little behind.
Fair point, Venu. Yes, last quarter, same time, the performance itself was quite elevated. And still you managed to, be right there, be it on EBITDA front, absolute EBITDA, nudging 172, 175 kind of zone. Talk to us about what will be the focus or the strategy from here on. Be continuously expansion on store count, improvement of mix. What are the levers you're going to focus on?
We have 4 strategic pillars. Shoppers Stop is a house of brands, and our purpose is to make our customers look good, feel confident. And that's really what we search for. And it's built on house of brands, built on 4 strategic pillars: beauty, private brands, expansion, and omnichannel. And the strong loyalty base that we have is a strong enabler for us. And to make this strategy work and the strategic pillars to come alive, we focus on the 3 C's, as we call it internally: consistent growth, customer centricity, and capital allocation. And these 3 C's, and if I were to just expand a bit more, consistent growth, which is what we've been delivering over the last few quarters. And specifically, if I were to call out a metric, which is the average transaction value, which essentially means the purchase of every time a customer comes to us, whether online or offline, how much they buy from us. We've now had 13 quarters of consecutive growth on this number, which means that every time a customer is coming in to our and engaging with us, they are blessing us with a higher number of items that they're buying from us. So that's definitely helping the overall growth. Customer centricity, and it's something which Shoppers Stop has always been known for. And we are taking that to the next level in terms of engagement and personalization. Makeovers in beauty is a great example of that. Our own personal shoppers in the stores, again, another good example where these personal shoppers, our personal stylists, help customers to choose what is the latest trend. And on top of that, a number of activities in store. In the first quarter alone, we had as much as 450 engagements across the various stores that we had. And finally, the 3rd C of capital allocation. We are a cost-conscious business. We are capital prudent, and at the same time, we are investing into growth in the form of beauty, in the form of private label, and also making sure that we get into new categories within the private brand area itself.
Venu, I am observing that you're actually going that phygital model, right? a combination of actual store, brick and mortar, which Indian shoppers love to, flock to, and of course the Gen Z, the millennial, which are increasing the activity on online. So combination. I want to understand how much of your transaction value is on the premium side, because we are observing across categories, premium segments are showing very good growth and they are agnostic to inflation and all of that.
Absolutely. And premiumization is a strategy that we have been adopting, and Shopper Stop itself plays in the premium segment of the market. And that is where we are anchored, and that's the area we've always been in, led by non-apparels and beauty, whether it is watches, whether it is some of the most uh, well-known international brands in beauty. And within apparel, again, a combination of international brands, national brands, and premiumizing within these is the strategy that we have been adopting, and we're seeing a healthy growth in that. I mean, if I give an example, overall, I mean, if I take watches as an example, and Titan, which is one of our partner, and the watches that we sell over 15,000 used to be 11% of our total mix, has gone up to 23%, and that just shows
All right,
how.
Venu, thanks very much for joining us on the show today. That was Venu Nair of Shopper Stop.